we are now 30 hours away from the draft. And only slight panic has started to set in for the Minnesota Wild faithful and myself. Well, when I say only slightly, I mean massive panic, because this draft is of major importance. Because despite Iowa Wild doing pretty well and actually making it to the second round of the AHL playoff, doing really well, they aren't exactly great when you look at terms of prospects. Sure, we have Kaprizov coming up, that's good, that's a plus. But outside him, because outside Kaprizov, best forward prospect is probably Connor DeVore. No knock on Connor DeVore, he's a fine player, he's gonna be a very suitable player, I think. But when you look at that, it isn't great. We have other players. Sokolov has done fine in the AHL. Same with Mason Shaw, who unfortunately has another injury, this time on this other leg, so he is out again with a horrific injury. Hopefully he will recover from that as well as he did this one. But it is starting to become apparent that he may not just get over those injuries. I hope he does, because Mason Shaw has the potential to be an absolute stud. But when you look at our team, when you look at our prospects, it isn't great. And it doesn't get better defensively. We aren't great either. We have a lot of places where I go, oh, this is not pretty to look at. Yeah, let's just say Philip Johansson doesn't seem to have been a hit at all so far. He could be. He could develop next year. I hope so. But he hasn't exactly lit the world on fire this season, and it doesn't look like a good first round draft pick. I mean, we got Fedor Deep, that's not too bad. He might turn into something, and if he does, he's gonna be a big defenseman that's hard to move, which is good. So if we can get the skating up, if we can get kind of the defensive awareness a little bit more up, he could be a fine player. That would be nice, but again, when he's one of our better defensive prospects, oh god. And in net, I talked a lot about him, Kakko Kakkonen, but he has sadly had a really, really bad ending to the season, so we probably have a few issues in the net as well. So as you can tell, a lot to work on, but where do we need the most? Well, I'm still gonna say forward, and especially center, because guess what, our two best centers right now is Mikko Koivu, Eric Staal. Yeah, and both of those are over 35 years old. As good as they are, Father Time has never once lost a battle against anyone, and eventually that will hit. And we kind of saw with Koivu last year. He got hurt. We were struggling because of the lack of leadership that he had. He has been a tremendous soldier for the Minnesota Wild. I absolutely enjoy Mikko Koivu. But eventually, he's going to have to retire. Eventually, Father Time is going to win. When is that going to be? Because that might be very soon. I don't know if this is Mikko Koivu's last contract. If it is, I would fully understand it. He's 35 years old. He can't necessarily keep going like this. He has a family to take care of. He has other things. Eventually the body just says stop, and it wouldn't surprise me if it did next year and he said this is a fine time to stop. Let's end it with the Minnesota Wild, let's end my career as a hockey player and end as an icon where the jersey will be retired, the number will be retired, he will become a legend with the Minnesota Wild, and he will deserve it completely, and I will applaud his career from no matter what happens now. I will still do it, but if he ends the career next season, fine, that's totally deserved, and enjoy your holiday, soldier. You have done your duty. Eric Staal, still not sure what's gonna happen with him. I think he's gonna stay for a few years, which is gonna be fine. I like Eric Staal. He had a good season a few years ago, but eventually, again, Father Time will win, and we don't really have anybody coming up as a center, which just takes it up. So I would look at that as our main concern for the draft. We have Luke Connon, who has done really well this season, who I really like. I think he's a great leader, but I see him more as a second line or third line even center, who is a leader down there, like Mike Fisher was in Nashville. You could also say Joel Eriksson-Ek there, who has done fine. He could also be a second, third liner, but again, we lack that first line center to play with Kirill Kaprizov, a playmate for him as per se. And for that, I would look at players like Alex Newhook. I think he would be perfect for it. And if you can't get him, try and find a winger that has some speed with him. Maybe in a Russian, Vasily Polzinskin, anyone? I would not mind too much. I know he's been like hyped as the overrated king of the draft, but I think if he falls to 12, I would happily take him. I know he has signed with SK St. Petersburg, but even then, we have seen with Kaprizov, we can wait a few years. If that makes him better, I would absolutely not mind getting Paul Carlson at the 12th overall. I think we need a forward badly, and we need a playmaker who plays with Kaprizov, and he is a really good bet for that, in my opinion. But my first priority would be to try desperately to get Newhook, because if we can get Alex Newhook or somebody like that as center to really, really strengthen that depth, so we can have a center core of him, Luke Connon, Joel Ocean-Egg, and then a fourth line guy. Probably not gonna be Raz, but right now he is. That would be a great start if we can have Newhook and potentially Fiala and Kaprizov. That's already a decent line. I feel could work well, because we would have exactly what we need in terms of speed. We will have a lot of creativity on that line, and we would have a great shot in Kaprizov. I feel like that line could really click together if we could end up finding that center between a Fiala and Kaprizov. In a down the line, that could be a great, great line. Now on to the second place we really need to strengthen. I know people have said, oh, we should probably go for a defender. Well, potentially, but I would actually go goalie before defender, because right now our defensive core is actually sort of good, and it will be for at least 2 or 3 years more. We have Ryan Suter. I know he's on a long contract, but he's still good. He's still very serviceable. I like Ryan Suter. We have Derek Spurgeon. Hopefully sign this guy up. Keep him. Then we have Jonas Brodin, who had an off year, I think, but he was fine. And then we have Matt Dumba, who unfortunately got hurt in a career year where he was absolutely stellar. He's on a fine contract. He's a fantastic player. He's the offensive dynamo for this team. And when he plays, oh boy, does he play. He plays his body well. He plays his offensive capabilities well. Defensive capabilities was tremendous last year. He was so much better defensively. And that was so nice to see Matt Dumba finally have the breakout here. And if he continues that way, well, guess what? We have a top 4 right there. And we have that for at least 3 years without that really crumbling too much. But if somebody gets hurt, we are in a little bit of trouble. We have Nick Seeler. We have Brett Hunt, who I hope we sign, because he was actually really good. I like what he did. He came in and did serviceable. Nick Seeler, I think, had a fine year. He was a little bit inconsistent, but he's a young guy. He can still develop. He can still grow a little bit. He can still become better, I think. And I like Nick Seeler for the majority of the season. And then Greg Pattender, who out of nowhere did well. I was not expecting a lot from Greg Pattender. He did fine. He was not bad. But yeah, like I said before, we don't have anything in terms of prospects unless Philip Johansson has a career year next year and kind of shows his real class and why we drafted him so high. We don't really have a lot there. So I would go with goalies as the second priority to fix. Not sure it's going to be our second round pick we're going to use, or it's going to be a first round. There's been talks about us getting Spencer Knight, which would be fine. I would totally like that as well. But there's also been talk that we would go and get Newhook more, which I'm agreeing with. Get Newhook before Knight. Then you can go with the second round pick. Probably try and find somebody who dropped, potentially Farkamo. I've seen drop a lot in the draft ratings for some reason. And if we can get Farkamo with an Alex Newhook, we all of a sudden have a really, really strong forward core building, which is nice to see. Then we can start focusing on goaltending in the third round, where hopefully I would say Matt Søgaard is available. Matt Søgaard in Danish, and I'm going to pronounce him that way from now on, and just for the record. But Matt Søgaard is a really, really decent goalie, in my opinion. Big size, massive agility for the size as well. He reminds me a little bit of what Ben Bishop is. In terms of his build and kind of style as well. He had a really bad World Juniors, and he isn't perfect at all. Let me just get it out of the way. I'm not going to say he's the best goalie ever. He's not going to be the new Carey Price. No, he's probably not even going to be the next Bishop. Who, again, if he's just half of that, I would actually be okay with it, because he would probably be our best goalie in the system that way. We need somebody to challenge for that top goalie prospect. We don't have any. And I feel like if we could get Matt Søgaard right there, that would be fantastic, because we lack that goalie prospect. Our best one was Capo Kakkonen, but outside that, we have Alex Stalock right now, Andrew Hammond, and Devin Dubnyk, all above 30 years of age. I know goalies have a longer span, but that much longer, I'm starting to worry a little bit about our goalie situation, because as good as Capo has been, he has not been great, and he lost the job eventually to Hammond, who had a fantastic playoff run, by the way. Andrew Hammond was great. He was back to his normal hamburgling self, but I would not put my eggs in that basket completely. I hope he's going to be good. I hope he kind of finds the form from the start of the season and keeps that consistent level, because if he can find that, he is going to be a goalie for the future. No doubt we have that sort of problem solved. Outside that, we have Matt Robson, who plays in Minnesota University, which is fine. It's nice to have some prospects there, but he hasn't shown great levels yet, so I'm not too sure about that. I would rather get a goalie in this draft and actually get one middle-ish, if not earlier, to try and really solidify that we have a guy in between the sticks for the future. When Dubnyk retired, we have somebody ready to go right away. He can go in and be our Jordan Bennington. Oh, by the way, congratulations to the St. Louis Blues. I forgot about that. Congratulations, Blues. You've won a cup of really, really great goaltending, and you can sing Gloria now. So yeah, go have fun. Wish it was us.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
But anyways, and then in the later rounds, I would try and find somebody like a diamond in the rough, somebody who's a little bit of a gamble. He's not a perfect player, but if he works, he's gonna be great. We did that kind of with Fedor Gordeev, our 7th round pick, for a guy who's definitely not a finished product at all. He's not gonna be a surefire NHL player. Rarely 7th rounders become that, but Fedor Gordeev has size, and if he can learn to hang in the NHL level in terms of skating, well, he could be a really good pick for us. And that's kind of what I'm hoping we can get out of a Fedor Gordeev. And that's what I hope we can get out of our later rounders as well. We saw Rick Kaprizov. That was a gamble. We hit right at home. We hit a home run out the park. And, well, that's what we have to try and do again, I feel. Because going for the safe options, that's not going to work, because we have a lot of safe options for the future. We have a lot of third-line guys. We have a lot of fourth-line guys who's probably going to be, like, around that ceiling. We need somebody who can break that ceiling or falter. Because we need that guy who can really, really break it, be the next Lidstrom. We need somebody who can really be the next Zetterberg. We need somebody who can be the next Kaprizov. We need that top end guy. And while it's hard to get, and it's a lottery, I'd rather we go for the lottery ticket than just go and double down on somebody who is going to be a fourth-line grinder. But anyways, draft is going to happen soon. I'm going to get this video up, and I'll talk to you then. I don't know if I'm going to be on a specific channel. If I am, I'm going to say tomorrow. But I hope you all have a fantastic time, and I'll see you guys next time.